So another important aspect that we've got to consider with centre pivots is the application rate of the water. So not just the depth, but how quickly it's being applied. If the water's being applied more quickly than it can infiltrate into the soil, it runs off, and that causes two problems. Often it runs into your wheel tracks, so you end up with really bad wheel track problems, which then makes it difficult to use the pivot when you want to. But also it means that water's moving from one place to another. We're ending up with too much water in one spot, and it's essentially another form of non-uniformity. And that makes the irrigation scheduling difficult because you've got wet areas and dry areas, and it's difficult to know which area we're scheduling for. To reduce the application rate and improve the infiltration of the water, we want to increase the throw distance of the sprinklers at the end of the pivot. The outer end of the pivot it's covering the largest area, it's got the largest nozzles, and it's putting water out most quickly. So we want sprinklers that throw water as far as possible to reduce the application rate at the end of the pivot. So every time we double the throw distance of the sprinklers, we halve the application rate at the end of the pivot. So often these pivots are applying water at rates of 1 to 200 millimetres an hour. And to put that into perspective, a heavy thunderstorm is about 60 millimetres an hour. So these are really torrential, and that's why we get a lot of runoff occurring. So we recommend that we have an application rate on the systems of less than 60 millimetres an hour if we can for most soils. As I said, we can improve that by changing sprinklers. So this has got rotator sprinklers on it, which have quite a large throw distance, so reduce that application rate quite significantly. The other thing is we can put spreader bars on the outside spans of the pivot, and they'll put one dropper forward and one dropper back, and that effectively increases the footprint of the sprinkler. We can do lower application depths, so instead of applying 20 or 30 millimetres at a time, applying 10 to 15 millimetres so that we're not getting that runoff occurring. Another thing we can do is change the system capacity of the centre pivot. So the system capacity is the maximum application depth over the entire irrigated area in a 24-hour period. So this centre pivot has a system capacity of 10 millimetres per day. So if it is set going and goes all the way around in a 24-hour period, it'll put 10 millimetres on. The farmer can use the system in any way he wants, but that system capacity doesn't change if he increases or decreases the application depth. The only way we can change the system capacity is by changing the nozzles in these sprinklers. And so having a slightly lower system capacity reduces the application rate of the pivot. So sometimes pivots have got excessive system capacities. So in northern Victoria where I am, we have plenty of irrigation systems with system capacities up to 18 and 20 millimetres, and that's far in excess of what's required to keep up with crop water requirements. We normally recommend system capacities of 12 to 14 millimetres a day. So reducing the system capacity by reducing or changing the nozzle pack can really improve infiltration. But you do have to look at the pipes and the pump and make sure that you're still in an efficient spot on the pump curve. So it takes some analysis of the system, and you need a professional to do those calculations for you. But if you're having infiltration problems, altering the system capacity of your pivot can be a good way to improve infiltration.